Hi there, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be putting together a little gift that starts out as a mocha frappuccino bottle and ends up as a little layered gift with cookie mix in it. It's cookies for two or a mini batch of cookies, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. Now what I want to do is show you just how to put it together as far as the ingredients go, and then I'm going to show you how to decorate it. First of all, you've got the list of ingredients, and it's just your regular basic cookie ingredients, but little tiny bits of each, and I've got a list for you so you'll know what to put in and how much of each. So the idea is just that you layer them so that when you get done you've got all these little layers here of the ingredients that go into making this little tiny batch of cookies. So I've got a few of them in here already, and what I'm going to be putting in next is I've got 3 tablespoons of white sugar. So that's going to go in here in my little handmade funnel, which, by the way, is just a piece of paper. I took a piece of paper and I rolled it up like this, and you want it narrow enough to go into this, but wide enough at the bottom for the ingredients to be able to fall through. And so then all I do is take a piece of tape and put it right on here, and I've got my very inexpensive funnel that works great. So basically everything just goes in one ingredient at a time, and they're all listed here. Next thing I'm going to put in is 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Next is the chocolate chips. What I like using is the mini chocolate chips. Since these are mini cookies, a little mini batch of cookies, I'm just going to put in 1/4 of a cup of the chocolate chips. So this is fine. It doesn't have to go all the way up to the top, but I like it to. So what I added on here, it's add-on ingredients at the bottom of the page here, is I have 1 tablespoon of coconut. That might fill it up, but if not, and if you happen to like nuts of any kind, then you can add a tablespoon of chopped pecans, walnuts, or almonds. So it's your choice. You can do even double of one of those, anything to get it up to the top if that's what you like. So what you end up with at this point is all the dry ingredients for the cookies, but what we're going to have instructions for, which when we get over to the table, and I'm going to show you the rest of what we do, there'll be instructions for what they need to add to it in the way of the wet ingredients. So I'll just show you that in just a second here. So this is what this started out as. It started out as a mocha bottle that I got actually from the Dollar Tree. These are the easiest ones to do because to get this label off, all you have to do is slit the plastic and just peel the whole thing off. Now you can also use the kind from Starbucks where they have a label that is stuck on. It's glued on really, really well and really difficult to get off. I use rubber cement thinner to get that off. Most people don't have that. I think Goo Gone also works, but it takes a little bit of work, but it's worth it for the end product. right, so now the next thing I'm going to do is put a band around it. This is about 1 inch. And you want to make sure it's going to overlap. So I have about 1/4 of an inch overlap there. So what you want to do to make sure it stays on is like roll it, like you would curling ribbon for gift wrap. So I'm going to roll it just so that I'm giving it the suggestion that it's going to be staying put like this. So I'm going to take that and glue it on. And I'm pushing it nice and tight all the way around here, and then I'm making it so that it comes together nice and straight. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take my label. We've got several printed pages of labels that I created. Some of them are cookies for 2, and other ones say mini batch of cookies. The reason I did this is because the first way I heard of this was as being cookies for 2. And I thought that was a darling idea, and it's really fun to give to a couple. But then I ended up giving it to a friend who had lost her husband. And I thought, I don't really want cookies for 2 on there to kind of rub salt in the wound. So that was when I created mini batch of cookies. It's best if you can print them out onto cardstock. It's just sturdier and just works a little bit better and looks a little bit nicer. I've just got one here ready to go. And here again, you're going to give it the idea that it's going to be rounded. Otherwise, they can kind of pop off and it becomes straight again. So if you have broken down those fibers a little bit, then it's going to stay that much better. So as you can see, I've got my seam here. This is actually going to go on and help reinforce that. Just make it stay there that much better. So now the last thing we need to do is everything at the neck. At this point now, they need to know what to add to it to finish up their batch of cookies. What I have in the free printable is several different shapes of directions. So what I'm going to do is punch a hole right in the top here. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my little piece of silver cording here, fold it in half. You've seen me do this in other videos if you've watched my videos for very long. So I've got a little loop there. That loop is going to go in through that hole, out just enough, like a couple inches maybe, to where I can take those ends, the tails, push them through the loop and then pull them. Now don't pull really hard and tight because this is just a little piece of cardstock there. So next I'm going to take my ribbon, and I want enough ribbon that I can do a tie. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm going to take this, making sure this is facing front, put it underneath the bow, and tie it on kind of like a bib. It actually almost looks like a bib right there. Now I want that off to the side because I want my label right here to show. So there we go. Okay, isn't that darling? I just absolutely love it. person or two that you can just make up pretty quickly and pretty easily, and just have fun getting them. Thanks for watching.